My name's Mallory. I'm 38, and I live in a loft apartment in Spokane, Washington, where I work as a forensic accountant for a criminal defense firm. It's not glamorous, but it pays well, well enough to afford a sleek downtown condo and a cabin up on Lake Chelan, a 2-hour drive that saved my sanity more times than I can count. I bought the lake house 6 years ago, after a particularly rough breakup and an even rougher year caring for my father through the final stages of Parkinson's. That cabin became sacred to me, my only true peace. But apparently my family didn't see it that way. I come from a long line of entitlement. My mother, Janice, was always more interested in appearances than parenting. My younger sister, Celeste, 35, has been the golden child since birth. She married Hunter, a guy with a six-pack, a six-figure debt, and a 6-minute attention span. They live down in Boise, Idaho, and still act like the world owes them something for existing. Years ago, when I was still trying to be the good daughter, I gave Mom, Celeste, and a few cousins spare keys to the lake house for emergencies. I should have burned those keys instead. Earlier this year, I drove down to Boise for Celeste's birthday. I brought a vintage designer purse she'd been drooling over, $400 on eBay, but I cleaned it up like new. The moment I walked in, they were already talking over me. Hunter's new startup, Celeste's yoga certification, Mom bragging about how beautiful Celeste's new backsplash was, not one question about my job, my life, nothing. I was wallpaper with a wallet. After dessert, Celeste leaned in. "So, what's the plan for the lake house this summer?" I shrugged. "Might use it to decompress, maybe rent a few weeks out." She just smiled. One of those smiles that made my spine itch. 2 weeks later, I was in my office when the family group chat exploded. "Celeste, we're taking the lake house all summer. Woo, can't wait." Barbecues, lake days, family fun. Reactions poured in. Aunt Paula, "Yay, we'll come visit." Cousin Dev, "Bringing my kayak." Mom, "Oh honey, we're so excited. It'll be just like old times." Like old times. Where I paid and they played, I typed, "Actually, I didn't agree to that. I'll be using it this summer." Silence. Then the backlash came fast. "Celeste, don't be selfish." Hunter, "Come on, it's family." Aunt Paula, "You always were uptight." Then the one that broke me, "Mom, ignore Mallory. She always overreacts. She'll come around." Come around? No. I wasn't coming around. I was coming for them. I didn't reply. I didn't defend myself. I went silent. But in my silence, I started plotting. I took 2 days off work. Booked a rental car just in case any of them recognized mine. Drove up to Lake Chelan in the rain with a thermos of coffee and a boiling fury in my chest. First stop, Northwest SecureTech. By the next afternoon, my cabin had motion-activated cameras on every side, a live-feed doorbell cam, and an alarm system that would alert me, and the sheriff's department, the second someone tried to force a door or window. Next stop, Cutter's Lock and Key. Every lock, front, back, basement, even the boathouse was changed. Only I had keys now. Before I left, I stood on the porch and looked out over the water. The lake was calm, peaceful, unlike me. Let them come. Back in Spokane, I monitored the security feed every night. For weeks, no movement. I almost thought maybe they got the message, until May 30th. "Celeste, we're all set. We'll be at the lake house by noon tomorrow. Let the summer begin." Partying Beach Hunter, "Coolers packed, got the beer." Mom, "We made sandwiches." Paula, "We'll be there Saturday." I didn't reply. Instead, I charged my iPad, made popcorn, and opened the security app. At 12:04 the next day, Celeste's SUV pulled up. Behind her, Hunter's truck. Then Mom's beat-up Prius. Then a couple cousins in a rental van. They were laughing, carrying floaties and folding chairs, coolers and towels. Celeste strutted to the door like she owned the place. She pulled out the old key. It didn't turn. Click, click, click. She frowned, tried again. Nothing. Hunter stepped up, tried his. Nope. I leaned closer to the screen. Then Celeste noticed the camera above the door. Her jaw dropped. She said something, probably "What the hell?" Then turned to the others. They all started yelling. My phone lit up. Mom, decline, then Celeste, decline, then Hunter. I watched the screen as he typed. Hunter, did you seriously lock us out? Celeste, Mallory, open the door, this is insane. Mom, Mallory, answer your phone. Finally, Aunt Paula. You're embarrassing the whole family. I typed one sentence into the group chat. This is private property. Enter without permission and I will call the police. They all looked down at their phones simultaneously. then up at the camera. Their faces priceless. Hunter actually had the nerve to yell into the ring cam, "You wouldn't dare!" I tapped the voice button. "Try me." He froze. They argued on the porch for 20 minutes. Finally, one by one, they started loading their things back into the cars. Hunter peeled out of the driveway. Mom looked like she was crying. I didn't blink. That night, my phone rang again. This time, I picked up. "Mallory," Mom shouted, "how could you do this to your own family?" "You mean the family who decided to steal my house?" She sniffled. "It's not stealing, we're family." "No, you're a mob. And I'm done paying tribute. I raised you." "No, Mom, I raised myself, you just took the credit." Then I hung up. I opened my bank app and canceled every auto payment. The one that sent $250 a month to Mom for groceries. The one that paid Celeste's car insurance. The one that helped Hunter with his medical debt. They weren't just locked out of the lake house anymore. They were locked out of me. The fallout hit like a thunderstorm. My voicemail filled up in 3 hours. Texts poured in. "Celeste, you humiliated us." Hunter, "We burned gas and took time off work for nothing." Mom, "I can't believe you've become so heartless." Aunt Paula, "After all we've done for you, done for me, that was rich. They treated me like a bank account with a pulse. I helped Celeste with her IVF bills. I paid Mom's overdue rent when she almost got evicted. I even lent Hunter money after his DUI, money I knew I'd never see again. And now I was the villain." I stayed quiet. Not a single word in the group chat. But one text slipped through that made my blood boil. "Dad. He rarely got involved in family drama. He divorced Mom 20 years ago and had stayed largely out of the picture. But now he broke his silence. Just saw the messages. I'm not surprised they turned on you. Proud of you, kid. About damn time." That message hit me harder than any insult ever could. Because if he saw the mess, it meant the family was spreading the story outside the chat. I checked Facebook. Sure enough, a vague post from Celeste. "It's sad when people value money more than family. Some people don't deserve sisters." Cue the sympathy parade in her comments. "OMG, what happened? You're such a good soul." "Jealousy is ugly. You deserve better." But one comment stood out, from a woman named Dina Klein. "Is this about the lake house? Because I just rented it on Airbnb for June." My eyes widened. Airbnb, I never listed the lake house on Airbnb. I clicked the link she provided. Someone, under the name Lake Life Host 88, was renting out my house for $300 a night. Photos taken inside my home, my books, my linens, even the antique canoe I kept locked behind the boathouse. I broke out in a cold sweat. Celeste, it had to be her. She'd stayed there once last fall, while I was overseas at a forensic conference in Munich. She must have taken photos and duplicated the key, then listed it under a fake host name. Now it all made sense. The confidence. The entitlement. The assumption that she had the right to book the entire summer. They hadn't just wanted to use the house, they were planning to profit from it. I reported the listing. Airbnb took it down immediately after I proved ownership. But I wasn't done, not even close. I didn't sleep that night. The betrayal cut deeper than I expected. Not only had Celeste tried to steal my sanctuary, she tried to profit from it. Behind my back. Using my name, my home, my trust. I wasn't just angry anymore. I was surgical. The next morning, I called Detective Maria Leon, a client-turned-friend who worked white-collar crime at Spokane PD. I told her everything: the key duplication, the fraudulent listing, the attempted unauthorized rental of private property. Her response: "Send me screenshots, I'll make some calls." By noon, I'd emailed her the listing, the chat history, and screenshots of messages from Dina Klein. I even had security footage from the fall, Celeste unlocking the back door with a spare key I never gave her. Maria called back 2 hours later. "She committed fraud, Mallory. If you want to press charges, you can." I hesitated. Pressing charges meant war, but letting it slide meant telling Celeste that she could take whatever she wanted. I didn't answer right away. Instead, I drove up to the lake house again. I needed to see it. Needed to feel whether the place still belonged to me. It was late afternoon when I arrived. The cabin was untouched, but something felt off. The back door was locked, but when I walked to the boathouse, I found the padlock broken. Inside, the antique canoe was gone. They actually took it. I went cold, then hot. My fingers shook as I called Maria back. "Press charges, do it." "Done," she said. We'll send a formal notice by Monday. Word spread faster than I expected. By Friday, Mom called again, this time her voice softer. Mallory, honey, Celeste didn't mean any harm. She committed fraud, Mom. She was just trying to raise some money. She stole my property and tried to rent it out under a fake name. She's your sister. No. She's a criminal. There was silence. Then Mom tried one last guilt trip. What happened to you? I woke up. The next blow came fast. Celeste was arrested the following week, not in handcuffs, but with a summons to appear. Fraud. Unauthorized entry. Attempted illegal rental of private property. Theft of the canoe. Her mugshot never hit the news, but someone leaked it in a neighborhood Facebook group. Within days, Hunter lost a major client from his freelance marketing business. Celeste's yoga studio dropped her as an instructor. Her name was toxic now. She texted me one line. "You've ruined my life." I didn't reply. Because the truth, she ruined her own. I thought that would be the end of it. But then something unexpected happened. Uncle Ray called. Ray was the only member of the extended family who ever treated me with basic human decency. Quiet guy, retired Navy, lived in a small town near Coeur d'Alene. He never asked for money, never judged. Always sent me birthday cards, even if they were 2 weeks late. Mallory, he said, you got a minute? Sure. I've been watching all this unfold, and I thought you should know something. Okay, Celeste didn't act alone, I blinked. What? She had help from your mother. My grip on the phone tightened. How do you know that? He sighed. Janice bragged about it at poker night. Said the listing idea was hers. That Celeste didn't know how to set up Airbnb and she helped her write the description. I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. My mother helped her. It wasn't just betrayal. It was betrayal on purpose. That night I drove to Boise. 6 hours straight. No breaks. I didn't even call first. I showed up at Mom's house just before midnight. Her porch light was on. When she opened the door and saw me, she froze. Mallory, is it true? What? You coached Celeste. You helped her list my house. Her face crumbled. It wasn't like that. Then tell me how it was. She looked down. She was stressed. They needed money. I thought if we just used it a few weeks. You lied to me. You plotted with her behind my back. You stood there pretending to be neutral while you were the damn puppet master. Don't say that. It's the truth. She reached for me. I'm your mother, Mallory. I stepped back. No. You're a stranger who thought she could sell pieces of me like furniture. I turned and walked away. I didn't look back. The lawsuit went forward. Celeste pled guilty to misdemeanor fraud and paid a fine. Hunter left her 6 months later. Rumor was he couldn't handle the fallout. She moved back in with Mom. The canoe was found, rotting behind a dumpster, warped beyond repair. That alone would have been enough for me to never speak to them again. But the final twist, a letter from my father. He'd passed a few years ago, but apparently had set up a posthumous delivery through his lawyer. Inside was a handwritten note and a legal document. The note said, Mallory, if you're reading this, it means your mother has once again failed you. I tried to protect you when I could. This is for you. The attached document. The deed to a second property. A small, quiet piece of land near Leavenworth. One he bought in secret and left in my name. Paid in full. The final line of his letter, build your fortress, keep them out.